Hello, Nancy. So, this is a recording, the summary of what we did on Tuesday. It's currently July 9th and it's 6 p.m. Lesson 3, All Clear 3, in class, bored to death or on the edge of your seat. So, bored to death is you're bored, deeply bored, and on the edge of your seat, meaning like it's very interesting. I really love it. It's very interesting. I like it. I like this teacher. I like this subject, etc. Okay. This coffee is really strong. I like it that way. So do I. All during my last class, I was thinking about coming here and could almost taste the coffee. Sounds like it wasn't too exciting. I was bored to death. I was bored. Um, in that class only because it's a requirement, it's mandatory. So I have to stick it out. I have to continue, okay, until the end. The problem is, the professor doesn't know how to spark our interest. It's like to keep us interested. To spark is to begin something that, you start a fire. So the teacher is not really interesting and the subject, he's not making this subject very interesting. She just walks in and lectures. Probably I had a professor like that at university. He was just reading his books, the book he wrote, and every year it was the same. So he didn't really come up with new ideas. He was just paid to sit in the classroom and read his book. There's no discussion, so there's no interaction. What a drag. Don't people ask questions? What a drag is like, how terrible, how boring, how awful. Oh, yeah, once in a blue moon. A blue moon is like the second full moon in the month. It's quite rare. And so, what we mean is once in a while. It's time to, well, rarely, let's say that. Once in a blue moon, that means once in a while. But I always see an awful lot of people doodling, drawing. They draw small stuff. And I can tell their minds are wandering. To wander is to be distracted, they think of other things. So, do you have any classes like that? I have only one big lecture class, World History, and the professor's best. It's so interesting. I'm always on the edge of my seat, and when we have discussions, the room is filled with electricity. I'm jealous. Too bad I already took world history. One day it dawned on me that I was lucky to be in her class because I found myself thinking. It's like suddenly I had an idea. Um I found myself thinking a lot about what she said. Did you ever have a teacher like that? It dawned on me. We're gonna see that again. So suddenly you have a new idea. Something is just like you understand suddenly something. You realize something. I'd have to think about it. I don't know. You should come with me to class sometime just to see what I mean. Sounds like you are in love with her, Steve. Very funny. She could be my grandmother. Anyway, I guess what it really comes down to is her enthusiasm for the subject. Okay, what it really comes down to is like what is most important here, okay, is her love for a job. She really loves her job. She just loves history. I remember at the beginning of the semester, I was fooling around a lot and not taking anything in school very seriously. Fooling around is like you don't take the school seriously, you don't study, probably you party a lot. And I bombed the first history test I failed. But then I buckled down. I got serious because I started really enjoying school, especially her class. You've got me real curious about this teacher. I think I'll take you up on your idea to visit your class, meaning I'll accept your idea. I'll accept to visit your class at some point. When does it meet? Okay. So, to come back, stick it out. You continue with something till the end, even if there are problems. Bored to death, very bored. Very, very, very bored. 3, to spark someone's interest. You create some interest, okay? You create, you know, you are creating an interest, an attraction to it. People are interested, they want to know more, they ask questions. What a drag is, that's terrible, that's too bad, how boring. Once in a blue moon, very rarely, not often. An awful lot of, a lot of, many, much. Someone's mind is wandering. The guy's just not himself. I like this. Someone is not paying attention and is thinking of different things. To wander around, that is more physical. To walk around with no particular destination. Like, we wandered around the city for 3 hours. It was great. I think I'll wander around the museum for a while. Why don't we plan to meet at the station at 2? It doesn't matter where we go. Let's just wander around. Be on the edge of your seat, for instance. Extremely interested in something. It dawned on me. It says dawned. It's more appropriate, dawned on someone. Someone suddenly thought of something. It's like it's very rare to have this expression. I suddenly realized something. When I was reading the murder mystery in the middle of chapter 6, it dawned on me who did it. I realized who did it. Who was the murderer? The murderer. She was on the train when it suddenly dawned on her what she had done. So you suddenly realize something. Okay, what it comes down to, the main point, the bottom line, the most important thing. What it comes down to is she's very interested in her subject. She really loves her job. To fool around, to do nothing constructive or nothing in particular, to play. To bomb a test or to flunk a test is to fail. Buckle down to start to work seriously. Buckle up to put on your seatbelt. Tag someone up on something to accept. Okay. There we go. So this is what we did. I was trying to summarize everything for you to remember the expressions better. Okay. So otherwise it's gonna take forever. There are like different exercises. We can just do 1 or 2 if you want. But absolutely, I would like to start lesson 4 on the streets, living from hand to mouth. That is somebody who doesn't have a job, doesn't have a lot of money, homeless. Okay? Lesson 4 for tomorrow morning. You take care, Nancy. Have a good evening and a good night. And see you tomorrow.